So this is Adrian singing She Used to Be Mine live on stage from Waitress.
That place and its patrons have taken more than
I mean, it brings up that discussion, right? You know, why do we put kids up on stage, right? Obviously an immensely powerful voice. Like very, very pure, very convincing, very authentic, right? There's nothing being manufactured in the voice. There's nothing fake. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. It's a really good technique. It's a really good boy soprano technique, right? Doing all the right stuff. The light stuff, the high stuff is all really well placed. It's very well phonated. It's very healthy. The wide open stuff is just fine. You know, the belty stuff, it's really good sounding. It sounds really fantastic. And so then you have to ask yourself, well, okay, if this kid is singing this song, what does it really mean? Like, what are we impacted by? Is it the story that is being told? Welcome back, Yap. Is it the story that's being told by, you know, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old boy? It's probably maybe a little younger, but I don't know. 14-year-old. Yeah, that's what Christopher said. 14-year-old boy. And it's not, you know, the character. It's not this. The Sarah Bareilles song is not about a 14-year-old boy, right? Obviously. But at the same time, that's the power of music. When music is executed well, that emotion comes through. You know, you can give the credit of the feeling to the composer. You can give it to the lyricist. And it's not necessarily always the vocalist that has to carry all the weight of that performance. In which case, I'd say it's fine. You know, that this loneliness, this depression, the state that is being described in this really beautiful song from this beautiful musical is not all put on this 14-year-old kid. And merely the act of singing musically makes that difference. And yes, when you're singing, feeling and acting and relying on real life circumstances that have brought you to this place, that remind you of the subject of the music, that really helps. That really helps in creating a convincing performance. Is it necessary? No. If you can just feel the music, feel how it was written, and it was written well, listen to the words and try to just feel that as it's happening, that also is a great way of portraying music. So I think it's completely valid if you don't want to rely on this interpretation as like the truest form of the story. But there's no way to avoid like the natural pure phonation and voice coming from this kid in a way that's really touching. And that's one of the beautifully pragmatic parts of the voice, in that a free voice can be felt by anyone as like a natural and comforting, beautiful sensation. Because that's what it feels like to create it. And as humans, we have that empathy in our ears, that aural empathy, to feel what people are feeling when they're singing this way. And so in that sense, I don't think there's anything wrong with either side of the discussion. Let's listen again. Wow, maybe my internet is really bad. Come on. Just gonna refresh it.
It's not simple to say. Most days I don't recognize me. These shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them.
Missed you too, Arden. It's just conversational, right? There's nothing straying from this pure conversational tone in the singing. The queue is turned off right now. We're doing a Patreon stream. So all of the videos today are from the monthly Patreon requests. Oops. Here we go.
Not easy
Because I've heard people sing this, in different scenarios where they change the gender of the singer, right? Because this is a first person song about singing in the third person about the person who's singing it, about themselves. So I've seen that being changed. And so when it's not, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, but he could just be singing it for the song itself, right? So I don't know anything about Adrian, but it's, again, I think we can give credit to the song, the writer, the lyricist, the composer. I think it's all Sarah Bareilles, but we can put the weight on that instead of putting it all on this kid, which, takes the pressure off. Is there a way to keep being able to sing high when going through puberty, or is it a guess as to what nature's going to do? You can always sing. Yeah, so the voice, especially in the male puberty, the vocal folds themselves grow. How much they grow and how they change is, always, different. But before that, the male voice is akin to the female voice. It's the same thing. A girl and a boy before puberty will have the same vocal folds, roughly. And then after puberty, the male voice grows a little bit. And that's why it goes deeper. The thing to avoid when going through puberty, however, is overly lowering the voice, artificially lowering the voice, because that's when you start to create bad habits. Like, I still have a little bit of a bad habit of speaking too low in my voice for what my voice naturally is. And that I get up against some roadblocks sometimes because of that vocally. Nothing that's I can't deal with, but it's more like I have to warm up super high. Like, I have to ease into singing high and I have to really focus on my high stuff when I'm warming up. And that's just part of it. Even now talking about it and thinking about it, I'm trying to place my voice higher while I speak, because it's easy for me to bring it down. Because when I went through puberty, I loved the idea of having a low voice. I'm a bass now. I'm a talking low, but that's not where my voice naturally sits. And so that's just an example of if you want to maintain high notes, don't artificially adjust the voice. And that's a great point to bring up here, because Adrian's 14. He's probably not far off from his voice shift. But the fact that he's singing so naturally and not artificially changing anything in the voice, even while he's singing, is going to really help him maintain that as he goes through puberty. Let me see when this video is done. 2018. So he's probably, he's 17 now. He's probably gone through a little bit of a shift of some kind. But I wouldn't be surprised if he could still maintain this high stuff, because he has this instinct, or maybe he's trained. He's probably, taken some voice lessons that are allowing him to keep that ease in the top part of his voice.
She tries, she is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken, won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all things mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine.
Yeah, see, and when he goes up, singing high is not a natural phenomenon, right? And for any type of voice, but going up into that really nice high position, it allows he allows it to happen. That's what I meant to say. He allows for the sound to go into that space. He doesn't put it there or anything, but he keeps the air flowing. He's obviously gotten some voice instruction. I would be very surprised if he didn't, because it's very well placed. It's very musical theater-y. It's awesome. It's so good too. And he's got amazing stage presence, mind you. There's nothing, he's not bashful. He's not overly performative. He's just really natural on stage. But he goes up and he allows the vowel to shift so that the resonance can do the job for him. Yeah, thanks for gifting those subs to Cap and Junior. Really appreciate it. And Wokus as well. it's a really it's so easy, right?
Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's so true. Well, now I've got
He's not overthinking it exactly.
You're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over. And there are
Mind you, also the jaw placement when he opens up for this like very soaring high note, the jaw placement is amazing. I'll refresh for a sec. Crazy. Wow, my internet is chugging today. I wonder how much illegal stuff Dorkney is downloading right now. We're like lime wiring it up in here. You know, Milo is probably pirating illegal dog porn right now. I'm probably gonna have to cut that out of this, right? Oh man. See if we can reduce this bandwidth a little bit. Do 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 do.
honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over. And there
Yeah, right.
for that girl that I knew who was reckless just enough.
That jaw, just when he just pulls it back. Ah. Da, 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 da. Ah. It's all so relaxed. And with such a pure, like, voice, like a child soprano voice, it's just, it's so clean. You love listening to it. There's no surprise that this went viral. It's crazy.
It's her, but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by American love.
Tell me your bit.
And she'll get stuck to be that's inside her trophy train till finally reminds her to fight just a little to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone but used to be mine.
And no surprise, like look at the teeth perfectly just showing the entire time. Allows you to depressurize the voice. This is a small mechanism. Mind you, it's also a small body using a small mechanism. It's all evened out. You're not going to worry about overly pressurizing the sound. But he's singing full, and therefore showing the teeth right like that releases pressure in the mechanism. It's a weird mechanic between what you're feeling and your vibrancy, allowing the sound to come out while still supporting it. It just all lines up when you can properly resonate, when you know what to feel for, when you can feel it, when your body feels the sound being sympathetically resonated elsewhere than just the vocal cords. It's really fantastic. Yeah, he loves singing, and that is so... The easiest cop-out if you're performing and you don't really know what to do during the performance is just enjoy yourself. Because if you're truly enjoying yourself on stage, then the audience can feel that so tangibly. And it comes across. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. He feels it. A little choked up.
baked in a beautiful pie. She's not, but she used to be mine.
Absolutely beautiful. It's so heartwarming. It's so beautiful. It's so heartwarming. And it's the joy. I think that's the winner, right? It's the joy of the performer. This is not, I'm like the first person to start dishing on, producers and shows and stuff for utilizing talented kids or exploiting talented kids for their, ability to do something without cognizance for their longevity. But this is not that, right? There's no one's exploiting anyone. If you've ever been to Broadway, the community on Broadway, yes, it's about making money. A show doesn't last if it can't sell enough tickets to make money. But the community itself, the performers, the people on stage, they are really good people. And this is not exploitative. This is a wonderful talent, a very gifted singer, and someone who is, you can feel how much they enjoy the singing, and that's why it's being shared with us. That's why, that's why he was asked to be on stage, to share a beautiful song with a community who would already love it, at the end of a show that it was in. Awesome. Prime, thank you for that. I really appreciate it.